Welcome! This video from the Computer Department Incorporated will go over printing and exporting reports in DLS Financials. When you first get logged into DLS, you will arrive at the main menu with the Accounts tab selected. The top of the screen, you will see your organization name with the name of the data file below it. On the far right, you could see two different icons. The top one indicates that you have the DLS Online module and the green frame around it. It may take a few seconds to turn green, but if it stays on red, it means that there is a problem with the connection to DLS Online that will prevent you from uploading the data. To figure out which end the problem is at, check to see if you can get onto the internet. If you can, then the issue is with our DLS Online server, and we request that you contact us if that happens. The second possible icon is the Docs module. This means that the functions for attaching documents and scheduling transactions are available in this version. Each menu item is a tab on the main form, so you will need to click on the Reports tab to bring up the Reports form. The default is to show the list of all the current deposit reports for your diocese in your data. At the top of the list, you will see a series of buttons showing the different report types. Click on the button to the report type that you want to work in. These could be deposits, loans, if you have the DLS Plus module Invest, and locations. Click on the report type that you want to report on to show those reports selected for your menu. If you are looking for a new report, you can click on the Available Reports button to get the form that shows all the reports within the DLS program. The Build Organizations Report menu form also has the same report types at the top of the form, which you can change to see the list of master reports list for that report type on the left and the current report menu that is shown on your report menu for that report type. When you click on a report in either list, the description of what is in the report will show up in the lower right box with arrows above it, pointing to the report highlighted in the list that the description is showing. If you want to add a report to your menu, double-click the report name in the master list. To remove it from the current report list, double-click the report name in the DLS report list box. Once you have all the reports selected for each account type, click on the Close button to exit the form. The menus are saved every time you move a report between the lists, so there is no Cancel button to cancel the changes you made. When you select a report in the Select Report tab, the report description will appear in the lower part of the form. In the area to the right of the report list, you may see options appear for that selected report, as well as additional tabs appearing at the top of the form. These tabs could be Select Filters and Select Accounts or Locations. At the bottom right corner of the tabbed form, you will see the Sort Order selection. By default, the system will sort by the location number or name. Use the drop-down to select from these other options. When you select the Report Account Statements, which is only available in the Locations report type, you will see several options to the right of the report list. The top one is to select the statement type. There are 7 different styles of statements. As you select each one, the description of the statement will be seen at the bottom in the report description area. The system will remember the last statement that you used, so once you select one and use it, the default will be that same statement type. Next to the list of types is a button that you can use to put a temporary footer at the bottom of the statements. This is in addition to the statement footers that you configured in the DLS Financials System configuration in the Maintenance tab. These temporary footers are used for things like upcoming event. They will only print for this current printing session and then will be lost when you exit DLS. This should be the last thing that you configure before printing the statements. Below the statement types, you can select which account types to print for the statement type you selected. Under the Loans account type, you could see up to 3 other options. These are used to print additional information at the bottom of each account's detail. If an account is an amortized loan, you can check the option to print the payments that coming due within the next 28 days from the statement date. You can adjust this number of days in the DLS Financials System configuration form. All past due payments on the date the statements are printed will also be included if this option is checked. If the account uses invoices, you can check this next option to print those invoices that are current or past dues. Checking the next option will print the activity of calculated and paid interest on the loan account. The final option is to print the report header for the statements at the top of each page. Skipping the header means that you have special letterhead paper for the statements and tell DLS to not print the default DLS statement header. You can set the default for this option in the DLS Financials System setup in the Maintenance tab. Select Filters tab is the place where you can fine-tune the report to show you only the specific items that you want in the report. On the left side are transaction-specific filters, which includes the date range of the transactions that you want in the report. By default, the date range will be the last month of the current date. Using the drop-down on the From date, you can select several predefined date ranges to use. These are defined from the settings you have configured in the DLS Financial System configuration form for the starting month of a fiscal year and the period ending months. All the individual months will be for the last month that has been completed. This means if you select May and the date is currently in May, it will use last year's month of May dates, but selecting April would use this year's month of April. If you want to enter specific dates, then you can click into either Date field and it will bring up the form for you to select the month, day, and year for the From and To dates. Also, by default, the filter option, Zero Balance, with no activity, will be set to exclude. This means that if the starting balance and ending balance are zero, and there are no transactions entered for the date range, the account will not show in the report. If included, all selected accounts will be included, even if there is nothing to really report other than a zero balance. Unposted transactions are also excluded unless you choose to include them. If you include them, the report will show on the title that the report includes unposted transactions, so that the reader will understand that this is not a final report, and that some information could change before all the transactions are posted. For the loans, there is a filter that can be changed to include loans that are pending or locked. When included, these loans will use the credit limit amount as the current balance to show that the funds have been committed, even though they have not been given out. On the right side of the filter form is a list of filters that you can configure to turn on, or clear them to turn off. The very top green button will turn off and clear all the filters below it with just one click. If a filter button is missing, it only means that your system is not configured to use that filter. Most of the filters will allow more than one value to filter to. This is an example of what the forms will look like when you select them. Notice that on the left will be a list of all the different values you can use to filter to, and on the right will be the list of the values you want to be used in the report. Once you have all the items selected, click on the Set filter to turn on the filter. Use the Clear filter to remove all the items from the filter list and click Set filter to turn off the filter. Location type will bring up a list of location types that are in the system. Double-click the location type on the left side to move it into the filter list on the right side. Solution type will bring up the list of solution set types that are in the system. Double-click the solution type on the left side to move it into the filter list on the right side. Denary code is used to turn on the field to enter just one code into the filter field. If the field is blank, the filter will be turned off. Clicking the On button will clear the field and turn off the filter. Family group will bring up the list of family groups that are in the system. Double-click the family group on the left side to move it into the filter list on the right side. Account classification will bring up the list of account classifications that are in the system. Double-click the account classifications on the left side to move it into the filter list on the right side. Account category will bring up the list of account category that are in the system. Double-click the account category on the left side to move it into the filter list on the right side. Standard lookup numbers will bring up the list of standard lookup numbers that are in the system. Double-click the standard lookup number on the left side to move it into the filter list on the right side. Restrictions will bring up the list of restriction types that are in the system. Double-click the restriction type on the left side to move it into the filter list on the right side. Filter closed accounts can be turned on and off in order to filter all the closed accounts. It is advised that you use this option for all reports, except for reports that are for older dates, where you may have marked them as closed. Interest rate is used to turn on the field to enter just one particular interest rate into the filter field. If the field is blank, the filter will be turned off. Clicking the On button will clear the field and turn off the filter. Interest rate filter is not on the transaction, but on the current interest rate shown on the account at the time of the report. Filter emailed is only used by certain statements and letters that can be emailed rather than printed. This option is still in development and may not work as you expect, but if it doesn't, please let the DLS Financials support staff know how you would like it to work. The Select Accounts or Locations tab is the list of the accounts or locations that will be printed in the report after all the filters have been selected. Depending on the report selected, you may be able to select all or just a few of the records to be included in the report. The Clear All to Print All button will clear all selected items if you have selected any. This will cause the report to print all the items. Using the Shift and Control buttons with the mouse click will select or deselect records. To the right of the Report menu tabs you may see a Data Source button. This is not visible in the cloud version. Live means that the data that you are reporting on is the live data on the server. Because of the environment that you might be using with DLS, you may find that your reports run very slow. Clicking on the Live button will do the following. You may get a form asking how many years of data you want to copy to your location workstation. 5 years is the default, but you can select any number of years. You can change the default in the DLS system configuration in the Maintenance menu if you would like. The more years you select, the longer it will take to download those records to your local computer at this time. Once those records are downloaded, you will then see the button change to Local. Local means that you are now avoiding your slow network and printing the report based upon the snapshot that you just downloaded. This will speed up the reporting process a lot for some people. The data snapshot will not be updated unless you click on the Local button to change it back to Live and then click the Live button to download a new snapshot. When you exit DLS, you will automatically go back to live data reporting the next time you log in. Once you have all the settings selected for the report, you have two options in the bottom right corner of the form. The top one is to print the actual report, while the lower one is to export the data from the report. Only certain reports have the export option available, so if a report that you would like to have the data export currently doesn't have that option, please contact DLS Financials support to have the option create. When you print the report, it will show up on the screen in preview mode. In this mode, you can save it as a PDF or send it to your default printer. If you use the Control-P keyboard command, you will be able to print it to a different printer on your system. If there is not a toolbar to close the preview, doing a right-click and selecting Close will close the report preview. If you select to save the data from the report to a CSV file, it will be opened in Excel once the export is complete. The file will be saved in the local folder under DLS Financials named Report Exports. The last export will always be saved there, overwriting any of the old exports of the same name. For cloud users, you will see the button Exported Reports, which when you click on it will bring up the Report Exports folder, so that you can open an old exported report CSV file in Excel. Thank you for watching. If you need to get more detailed training or still have questions about managing your reports in DLS Financials, please contact DLS Support at 217-697-0105 extension 5 or email support@dlsfinancials.com.